Hello, 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 and welcome to Authentic Living with Coach T. I am super excited that you have chosen to join in with us today. We have some great things to talk about, but even better than that is I have great women with me. Yay! So I'm super excited because we have had the opportunity to share some experiences and some testimonies, and we're going to get right into that. But I do want to start off by letting you all know, especially your first timers who are listening and you're like, what is authentic living? Who is Coach T? Well, authentic living is a radio broadcast that we have thought to put this into existence because we want to help you identify and understand how to live the very best life you can. We want you to live an authentic life. What does it mean to live an authentic life? To live a life of purpose, to live the life that God has called you to live, not someone else, but the life that God has called you to live. And what's exciting about living an authentic life is that you are the only one that knows what that looks like. God has shown you. He's giving you some things. He's giving you tools, skills, abilities. He's giving you all these great things to help you live the life that He has called you to live. And so we want to encourage you through our radio broadcast each and every Tuesday to embrace who you are, to be okay with that, to do you, right? So we want to do that each and every Tuesday. So for right now, for those of you who are watching us Facebook Live, please share. Let everyone know that we are on here today, and I have dynamic women with me, and we have some things to talk about. And so without further ado, I want to introduce to you a few of the authors from AIC's book collaboration, My Story, God's Glory. Yeah, so this is good, y'all. This is good. So book collaboration, what are we talking about here? And I always want to just get right in, but I have to make sure that I help those of you who are watching understand, what is this? What are you doing? So book collaboration. Well, many years ago, God placed upon my heart to start a collaboration, and the collaboration really began with first ladies. And really God had impressed upon my heart to gather some first ladies and give them a platform to share their stories. And as they shared their stories, they would experience deliverance, healing, peace. They would just be able to really move forward in all that God has called them to do as they work through some of the things that they've experienced. And so we did that, to God be the glory. And now from that, about 2 or 3 years later, we decided to go ahead and have book collaborations, not only for first ladies, but for all ladies. And so these women have said yes. I said, guys, look, this is what God has said. You guys want to do this? And they were like, yeah. But sometimes it was like, no. And so these are young ladies who have just really placed their story and their trust in AIC, Authentic Identity Coaching, to really help them to publish their stories and move forward on purpose. And I said it before and I say it again, thank you, ladies. Thank you so much, because not only did you bless the world, because these books that we have gone international, we've had them in different countries, but you guys blessed me. Because there's a vision. God gives us a vision. But without people to really say yes to the vision and embrace that, then it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
So we need people, we need relationships. So on behalf of myself and Coach E, we thank you guys for doing life with us.
Thank
you.
For pushing us into purpose.
And we thank you guys for watching us, and thank you for tuning in to our radio broadcast. And so now we're going to kind of get right in it. Okay, so here's the deal. These women have shared their stories. Each of them have shared about 3,000 words. Now, they didn't share all of their story because, as we know, there's a lot to life, right?
Right.
But we all have something to say. God has given us opportunities to share our testimonies, and that's what they've done. And so when we do our book collaboration, each author shares about 3,000 words of whatever it is that God has placed on their heart. Sometimes it's testimony, sometimes it's encouragement. It's basically up to them as to how they do it. So with this book is My Story, God's Glory. And so I want to introduce you to some of the authors. So I'm going to start with Miss Carmencita Hughes, and she is one of our authors in our story. Carmencita, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Timeko.
And then we have Miss Nicole Emery.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Nicole. And then we have Denise.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. And then lastly, we also have Troyce, Heath.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, hello, hello. So here's the thing. These are just a few of our authors. We have about 13 authors total in this book collaboration. But as you know, we're all doing life, right? So people are busy and they're working. So these ladies took time out of their day to come. So we want to talk a little bit about your process before we get into your story. So I want to ask a few questions, and I want you guys just to kind of chime in however you feel necessary to do that. But there are people who are watching us right now, who are listening to us right now, who they feel like they have something to say. They feel like God has placed something in their heart to share, but they are maybe intimidated by it, or they just maybe embarrassed by some of the things. What would you say to, and I'll start with you, Carmencita, what would you say to someone who's watching who has something to say, but they're like, I'm not gonna put that out there like that?
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. Say hallelujah anyhow, because people have to realize that in their situation, this situation does not have a heaven or hell to send them to. However, they can allow that situation to help guide them to hell in the lake of fire. That's why I had to come out. Coach T, she used to be my first lady. Hey. And she had told me, you got a book in you, and I did. I did because I had suppressed my ministry for almost 20 years before I actually came out. So the thing is, I had to keep saying hallelujah anyhow. That was something that brought me out. But I really did not get delivered until I was done with that chapter.
Wow.
Praise God.
Wow.
Yes.
So let's go back just a little bit, because Carmencita, when I met her a long time ago, I'm telling you, awesome,
Yes.
amazing. We worked
Yes.
together, and then she was a member of our church, and she's always so faithful. But the big thing is, she loved the Lord.
Amen.
She loved the Lord. And I've experienced and I've watched you go through some really trying situations. And she would always say, we would be in the hallway at work, and she would always say, hallelujah anyhow. I said, you know what? You're going to have to write the book.
The hashtag. I know,
Hashtag
hashtag. Hallelujah.
But little did we know at that time that it would be a chapter in the book.
Amen.
But God knows.
Yeah.
God knows.
Yeah.
So as you have gone through, just tell the listening audience just a little bit about your testimony. Kind of, He's brought you through so much.
Yes.
One thing that He's brought you through.
The main thing he brought me through was being so down on myself that I thought I wasn't good enough for him to manifest his purpose, as you stated once before, in me. I really didn't even know about purpose. I didn't think I was good enough. I thought that within my story, can I say what my story?
Absolutely.
Yeah, my story was about abortions, using birth control in that type of form. In fact, my chapter actually starts out raw and uncut, and definitely is raw and uncut. I was also church hurt, okay? It was something I had to be delivered from, and what really kept me throughout my salvation, or kept me attached to the Lord, was when I first got saved, a lady told me, if you have nothing to hold on but to a string, you hold on to that string. You hold on to God's unchanging hand. Even in the midst of me trying to come out of it, and when I didn't think I could come out of it, it's still, that's what helped me together, because, there's times I walk somewhere and somebody say out of the blue, praise the Lord. That was crazy to me. I'm like, I don't feel like I'm worthy, And then when I finally got to when I kept saying hallelujah anyhow, the more hallelujah anyhow that I absorbed into my spirit, the more word I got, the more confirmation from different prophecies, prophets, prophetics. The more I got hallelujah anyhows, the less that mess.
That's good. That's good. That's
stayed
good.
in my spirit.
And so the thing that I love about Carmencita is that, her background, you, as I, were in the military.
Yes.
And you retired with how many years of military?
About 21.
So I can imagine just going through the military, there's so many times where you had to say hallelujah anyhow. Right? Because I don't know about going right out of high school and into college and going into corporate. That's not our story. Our
Right.
story is out of high school, into the military, in the military for 20-some years, you know, so that was kind of a different lifestyle. So I know that you had an opportunity, several opportunities, to be able to walk that until it became a real place for you.
Yes.
So yeah, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
So Nicole, you are not off the hook. So Nicole, let me tell you about Nicole. Nicole is a psalmist. I'm telling you,
Yes.
I wish I had to just sing something, just really quick.
Yes,
Just
real
say
quick.
anything, 30 seconds.
Oh,
Just one
yes.
minute.
Son.
For your glory, I will do anything just to see you, to behold you as my king. I wanna be where you
Yes.
are.
Amen.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
Yes.
You know, when you, and that's how you know you're
The
anointed
vibe,
and you
yes.
get this, you know, when somebody, I mean, because we didn't
On the
plan that.
side.
It just hit me, that was the Holy Spirit saying, wait a minute, not only is she an author, you better
Yes.
sing, you better set the
Where
atmosphere,
you
right?
are. Yes.
And so that's something that
Glory
Nicole
to
does. So,
God.
you know, you set the atmosphere through singing and through worship, and I tell you, she's a true worshiper. But here's the thing that I love is the fact that you didn't allow your gifts of singing and being a psalmist and being a worshiper and worship unto the Lord, you didn't allow that to limit you just within the walls of the church. You said, there's somebody out there who won't come to the church. So I'm gonna write my chapter.
Right.
I'm gonna share my story, and
Yes.
maybe where my song can't go,
That's
the
right.
story can go.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tell us about
Because-
that.
You know, we were talking about that earlier. Everybody's testimony is to minister to someone else. It's not just for us. You know, we all have a purpose and an assignment in life, and then we go through those assignments, and then God uses that testimony to bless and heal and deliver others. So that was the main reason why I wanted to do my chapter, because there's so many people out there that don't want to tell their story, or like you said, that is afraid to tell their story. And I said, okay, I'm going to do this. You know, like Carmencita, I was prophesied to, you have a book, you have a book, you have a book. And the Lord hadn't released me yet to do this chapter. And so I know a few books had gone by, and I said, not yet, he hadn't released me yet. And then finally I called and said, he released me. So I just praise God for the opportunity to be a blessing to others and to be able to share my story. You know, I got a little raw in mine too, you know, in the beginning. So many families, you know, they might not say it's dysfunction, but there's dysfunction, you know, but being molested for about 12, 13 years, you know, and never said anything because I was just afraid, you know, of ruining the family, you know, secrets within the family, you know. But once I was able to receive God, like, you know, becoming an adult and receiving God and being after his heart, knowing who I wasn't in bondage in my body anymore. I wanted to just be free. And so I was able to forgive that relative that did that to me, you know.
Good.
And once I was able to forgive him, oh my God, God just opened up so many doors, so many realms to be able to do so much more with my gift of song. So it was just a blessing.
Authentic.
Yes.
You know, it was authentic. You didn't have that stuff. You didn't have that unresolved
Right.
issue there.
Right.
That's, you know, and often we do have it.
That's
you know,
right.
we have some things that we have to work out, but when we let those things go,
That's it.
you talking about the anointing.
Oh my God.
Oh
And
my
he was
God.
definitely able to use me. It was just, it felt so good.
Yeah.
It felt so good.
So your chapter is called The Training Ground.
The training.
Yes, and tell just a little bit about that. We have about a couple minutes before we have to go to
Okay.
break.
So like I said, you know, dealing with molestation, and I was able to forgive that relative. But while also going through that, I was diagnosed with a chronic illness, ulcerative colitis, when I was 14. And I mean, constantly. I was probably at the hospital more than I was at home. It was like a second home for me. And I mean, months at a time in the hospital. My freshman year, they diagnosed me with it, and I got allergic reaction to the medication that they gave me for it. They didn't know. I didn't know I was allergic to it.
Right.
In the hospital for 3 months. You know, and they had to fly me all the way out. You know, I'm originally from Gary, Indiana, but they had to fly me to Chicago.
She's proud of being from Gary.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my
You
goodness.
know, and so went through so much though as a child. I mean, even thought about suicide. I mean, because I had the illness for about 12 years. I was 26 when the Lord finally healed me from it, but it just took a toll on my body, and I just praise God for His healing. You know, I mean, just for others to trust and believe, God will heal you. He can do that because He's that great.
So it's so amazing that, so even when you sing,
Yeah.
you know, oh my God, the atmosphere. You know,
Yes.
Nicole was our worship leader for years at Mercy Seat, and when I tell you, you can tell when someone has been in the presence of God,
Yes.
and that they have been through, and they really can, you know, testify really that God had brought, because as you sang, there will be healing in the atmosphere.
Yes.
And I don't think you could experience that unless you've really gone through it, or you have the faith to know that
That's
God
it.
can do it.
That's it.
And so thank you for sharing that. I mean, as someone who's listening right now, you may be going through something, a sickness and illness, and you're wondering, is God gonna ever do it? She said 12 years.
12 years.
You know, but God did it.
Like the
To
one
God
that's
be the
in the
glory.
Bible.
To God be the glory. He did
God
it.
be the glory.
And so I'm excited to get to our next couple of authors, but we're going to have to take a station break. So for those of you who are listening, we thank you so much. Please make sure you come back after the commercial, because you don't want to miss what we have to offer with My Story, God's
God's
Glory.
Glory. Yes.
You were singing.
Woo!
I got
Did you feel that anointing?
Yes,
Come
I
on.
did, girl.
I almost
That's one of my favorite
cried.
songs.
Yeah.
And it does something to the instant. Can you just a little longer?
Yes. Wait, what you
That's for real.
Come on.
Yes.
My
That's for
first
real.
time.
Yes,
That's for
because
real.
it really,
I mean, I can explain the last 72 hours of my life, and that might
Oh,
encourage
praise
us.
God.
Just do it.
For your glory, I can do
Yes.
anything just to see you, to behold you as my King. For your glory, Lord, I will do anything just to see you, to behold you as my King. I wanna be where you are.
Hallelujah.
I gotta be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I gotta be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I gotta be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I gotta be where you are. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you, God.
Glory to God.
His glory.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Don't it feel good to walk in the
Oh,
anointing,
yes.
girl?
Yes. To be, like you said,
No,
to be
a
used
carrier.
of God. Yes.
Come
Oh
on,
my
to be a
God.
carrier.
Yes.
You know, just go somewhere, you just set your own atmosphere.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus.
Ooh, it feels good.
Amen.
He's so awesome.
Hey, Facebook, thank you guys for tuning in. We're on break. Well, not really break, but you know, we're on a worship break.
Oh, Lord, yes.
So on the app, they're actually on a commercial break, so we're on a worship break. We're gonna start back up here in a couple of minutes, but yeah, just give us some hearts and give us some likes. Let's just praise God for Nicole and her ministry of song.
Praise God.
Yes, to God be the glory. To God be the glory.
Thank you, Jesus.
Amen.
Yes. So powerful.
Praise
So
God.
powerful.
He's so amazing.
That's why I
Yes,
asked where
he
you were
is.
singing, so I come here. Come on, Nicole. I want to come see you.
Amen. Amen.
I love you. I miss you.
I
She used to be on praise team.
Yes, yes, these are singers. So for those of you who are just tuning in, we thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. We have about 30 minutes remaining of our show together. You still have time to share, and invite someone else to be a part. We're talking about My Story, God's Glory. These amazing, dynamic authors are sharing their stories and sharing their testimonies with the world, with you. And we believe that God ordains everything, all of our steps. He orders our steps.
Yes, he
And
does.
that
Yes.
there's something
That
that
for
needs
sure.
to be said, something that will be said, something that is being
That's
said.
it.
Yes.
That's going to bless you, heal you,
Yes.
deliver you,
Yes.
and you don't want to hoard that. You want to share that.
That's
So make
right.
sure that you're sharing this broadcast and just showing us some love. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Amen.
Got 2 minutes.
All right, so we got 2 more minutes. Anything you guys want to say to Facebook Live while we're waiting?
Thanks for joining.
Yes,
Yes.
thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing.
Yes. So we have Troyce, we have Tedria Denise, we have Nicole, and we have
Yes.
Carmencita.
Woo.
And Coach T.
And Coach T.
Amen.
Yes.
So we're gonna start back.
All right.
For those of you who are watching on Facebook, if you cannot remain on with us, you can order this book. You can contact any of these young ladies on Facebook, and they will actually get that book to you, or you can go on Amazon and order it as well. So if you want to support these women and you want to order from them individually, you can always inbox me or email me or contact Authentic Institute, and I will get you in contact with one of our authors. Or you can go ahead and order it on Amazon, whichever you prefer. But we're a team, so I would prefer that you will order it from one of these amazing young ladies.
We are a team up.
We are a team. AIC, what?
It's like a reunion.
I know, every
I
time.
know. We haven't been together since the Christmas
Yeah,
party.
since the
That Christmas party.
Yeah.
Since the Christmas
I
party.
was there.
You was there?
Yeah.
I missed the Christmas party.
I missed it. I got the one at your house. Yeah, I came to the second.
We getting so big.
Huh?
We're
know.
growing.
We need to do something like twice a year or something. Oh, that sounds fun. She said a picnic.
Picnic.
But for right now, we're gonna get back to business.
Yeah. Back to the radio show.
All right, so Nicole, thank you. Y'all know this is my song, right? Y'all know every time we have an AIC event, I'm always wake up and smile.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Like y'all
noticed
can hear it, I'm
that.
the only one that can hear it.
We're like, wait, what?
All right. Welcome back to Authentic Living with Coach T. Thank you so much for joining us today, being with us, spending time with us. We're glad to have you right here in studio with us. We are talking about My Story, God's Glory, which is a dynamic collaboration of authors. And so with this book, there are 13 dynamic authors. I only have 4 with me in studio today, but we have other amazing authors who could
Yes,
be. And when I
yes,
tell
yes.
you,
Powerful.
these this one is all women, okay, I had to make sure. These women are amazing. Their stories are touching. We're still receiving testimonials and just great things that people are saying about these stories. So get your copy of My Story, God's Glory. You can contact any of these young ladies, or you can also order from Amazon, My Story, God's Glory. So as we move on, I want to move on and talk to Miss Tedria here, Tedria Denise. She is an author in this book as well, but she's also an author in a couple other books now. How many books do you have now?
It's just the 2 right now.
Okay. Right now,
Yes.
we're speaking prophetically, there's more.
Yes.
Absolutely.
More coming.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And Tedria, you know, we met years ago, and both of us are really hungry for what God had for our lives. So hungry that we met up on New Year's Day.
Yes.
For a
Yes.
retreat on New
Yes.
Year's Day. It's like we
Yes.
knew that we wanted to start our new year off
Oh.
right.
Yes.
We should do a New Year Day retreat.
We
We
should.
should do that.
Because life has never
I
been the
know,
same
isn't it?
since.
Girl, come on now. So anyway, let's talk about Tedria's chapter. So tell us a little bit about your story and what you wrote about.
The title of my story is The Pursuit of Radical Faith.
Okay.
I began the story by talking about the story in the Bible about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And I always wondered if I can be as strong as those Hebrew boys. I always wondered if I could have that type of faith where I'll no matter what, I'm going to stand on the principles of God. I'm going to stand on His word. And if I have to go through the fire, I'm going to go through that fire and know that God's going to bring me out. I always wondered if I could have that type of faith. And God said, but you have. And I was like, when, God? No, I couldn't. Really? And so He just showed me different aspects in my life growing up as a child that I went through some troublesome times, and I still pressed through. And even as a young mother, in my story I share how I lost a child, and I had to give birth to that child on my bathroom floor in a town home that I had just moved into in a new town, so I didn't know anybody, and I didn't know anyone, and I kept my small children were downstairs, and I did not want them to come and see their mother in a pool of blood, and so I kept praying, God, send me somebody, and lo and behold, He sent, I call her my angel, because she was a next door neighbor, took care of my children, took care of me, and it just reminded me how no matter what you go through in life, if you stand on His word and you stand on His principles and you trust in Him, He always has your back. He always has your back. And as I was listening to you sing, I was thinking about the fact that He has to become as real to you as each one of us sitting here. He has to become as real to you as this table, as real to you as this chair. He has to become so real to you that you know that He's got your back through everything. That no matter how hot the fire gets, He's in that fire with you. And He will bring you out of the fire unsinged. So when we talk about the book and we talk about sharing our story, you have to tell the story because there is freedom in revealing. When you reveal it, you break free from everything the enemy thought he had you bound in. You break free and he has no more hold over you. And I thank God that I was able to share and not hold it back anymore. I don't have that spirit of rejection on me. I don't have that spirit of defeat on me. I don't have that spirit of where I just think I don't qualify anymore, or I don't have that on me because I told the story. So nobody else told it. Nobody said you had your kids too young. You had your kids out of wedlock. I told the story. And what the devil meant for evil, my God turned it for good. And so there's someone else out there that needs to hear the same thing. They need to hear the story. There's a teen mother out there thinking that they can't make it. And I'm here to say, yes, you can. That's right. Because I did it. And if I did it, you can too.
That's right.
That's right.
Thank you.
You gotta tell your story.
You have to tell your
and you have to always be in pursuit of radical faith.
Radical faith. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. And this is why I absolutely love the assignment that God has me in right now in providing an atmosphere in a way. It's only through the grace of God. Again, as a visionary, you can say, this is what I hear God saying. But it's going to take each individual person to say, I agree with that. Not only do I agree, but I'm going to be bold enough, courageous enough to tell my story, to do it afraid, to go for it. Because it can be an emotional journey. I've seen so many women and men go through all type of levels of emotion. When preparing the chapter, how much should I say? What should I say? What would they think about me? Nobody knows this about me. But when you know that God is in it and that God has already delivered you through, then you know that it is a mandate on your life that you are a good steward over that testimony, that you share it. Because you're gonna break people free.
I just want to say that it has brought me closer to my family. It's
That's
brought me
good.
closer to my children. The first book was a memoir that I wrote in 30 days, and I told secrets I have never told my children. They never knew about me being, molested. I kept that secret. Nobody knew. They never knew that I was homeless. They never knew my mom was beaten. They never knew these things, but I told it in that story, and then I came to them and shared and said, anything I ever done to you, because you got to break generational curses.
That's
That's
it.
right.
And so
Right.
anything I ever done in raising you, I ask that you forgive me for, because I knew no better and I didn't know. And if it hurt you, I ask that you forgive me. And it just brought us so
That's
much
it.
closer
That's
together.
healing.
Because now they understand me
Yeah.
and what I
Absolutely.
went through, and I understand.
And then your
Deliverance.
transparency and just being free, it gave them permission,
Yes.
to be
Exactly.
free. So now when they hit that wall or hit that place where they struggling over how to deal with that, Mama dealt with it this way.
Mama did,
Mama was strong enough, so she did it, then I can do it. So,
God
yes,
be the
that's good
glory.
stuff. All right, Troyce.
It's
Yes.
your turn.
Yes,
Yeah.
Troyce. I don't know what I can say. See, Troyce Troyce and Tedria both are one of our coaches as well. We have a coaching certification course where we are certified life coaches.
Yes.
And both of these young ladies have the opportunity to go through our coaching course. So I'm honored. I'm excited to say that you guys are AIC coaches. So thank you guys for doing it. But I think about that with you, Troyce, because even as you went through the certification, you didn't stop. There were some challenges that you faced even in doing that, and you were like, if I gotta sit in my hotel room, whatever I gotta do, I'm gonna. So I've watched you persevere and go through. So tell us a little bit about your story and what you wrote in your chapter.
Okay, so first I'll start by saying I probably wrote, I don't know how many versions, maybe 10 versions, Coach.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how many versions I
I
wrote.
think I stopped counting, but
Yeah,
it was
she
okay.
did.
It was okay
And
because it was within the time limit
It
and all
was.
that.
It
So
was.
it was
I
a
made
process,
the
right?
timeline. Absolutely.
It was a process.
And here's
That's
what's
it.
beautiful about
Yes.
the process for me. I have spent a lot of time being someone else's shoulder to lean on, praying for others, being there, helping them put the things back together. And this process made me face Troyce different.
Wow.
It also made Troyce decide if she was lukewarm or not.
That's good.
That's good.
And so the chapter that I wrote is called "The Making of a Prayer Warrior," and it's because that's the gut of what everything that I've ever been able to have received, gone through, has pulled me through is this ability to pray. And when I was much younger, didn't even know that that's what I was doing. I often, and I don't know, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. In my normal everyday life, I often tell this story. I used to write God hate letters, and I didn't realize at a young age that was telling God I still love you. Hate is is another way to say love. That's way deeper than what I'm trying to get to right now. So, as I got older, I then continued to talk to God. I didn't realize that that's really what was happening, and then I met a young lady in college. I'm just gonna say your name. Her name is Anya Sykes. And she taught me how to pray. And the way she taught me how to pray is she literally had everything stacked up against her every single day. She was helping women in college through suicide. She had her own wars going on personally, mentally, health-wise. And she every day sang. Every day she just kept moving. And so
I love it.
I realized that she had made a stance. She still had things that she could be upset with God about, but she made a stance. And so that's where this came from. And she made it her business to make me memorize Psalms 91. And not only did I have to memorize it, I had to study it. And not only did I have to study it, I had to understand it in and out. It was almost as if it was another course. My course was Psalms 91. And so that's what I do. When I'm frustrated, I pray. When I'm happy, I pray. When I'm, whatever it is, I try my hardest to go ahead and talk to God, and I understand that is our line of communication. When it gets cut off, that's when things are out of place around me, or I've become too haughty, or I've become too prideful, or I've become too much of the driver. I've decided I can drive. and God will knock me down real quick.
Yeah.
So let me know I don't know where I'm going.
That's good. That's good.
So even as a young girl, you were saying that you were writing hate letters to God. In your mind, that was hate letters, but really, as a young girl, you were already praying.
I
You
was.
were communicating.
Yeah.
You know, you may not have been happy with what you were saying, but I'm
Yeah.
sure God honored the communication, because some people don't talk to Him at all.
That's
Mhm.
right.
And I know that we
Yes.
often, sometimes we have a life where we're frustrated and
Right.
we're not happy about certain things, and we go to God and we tell God how we feel,
Mhm.
and we repent, and
Yeah.
you know, and all that.
Yeah.
But that was a way, even as a young
Yes.
child, that you were communicating
Absolutely.
with God and learning, you know, how to communicate and how not to
Absolutely.
communicate.
Yes.
So that's
Absolutely.
awesome. Thank you for sharing that
Yes,
with us.
that's
Yes,
good.
absolutely. And the you know, this has been the catalyst to a lot of things, as a lot of women here have already said. This has been the doorway to I can, and how dare you have an excuse. So, and this
Yeah, wait,
is
okay, you're gonna have to go back, you went by that a little fast.
Okay.
Okay, again, so what you're saying is that your release
yes,
in the book,
yes,
your release, you're saying
Open
yes,
doors.
yes,
has open doors.
absolutely.
Yes.
I can,
I can,
and there's no excuse for
There's
I
no
can't.
okay, all right.
There's just no excuse. There's no more excuses. Which is very easy to say when you say it until you get presented with those things. But one other thing that has also occurred is, if I don't, how dare I not see how great God's glory truly is?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm putting him in a box. I've decided that I can't.
That's right.
I've decided that I don't
Yes.
deserve it. I've decided that it's bigger than me.
That's
But
right.
you don't, you know, you got to do things with God. You know,
Yes.
you got to do things through God, and so you ask for His peace. Why would you then decide that you're not going to be fully at peace today? You ask for His wisdom. Yeah, He gives wisdom, and you don't take the steps to follow the wisdom. That's wisdom. You ask
Yes.
for, you
Yes.
say, with faith actually is faith without works is dead. But what does it mean to work, right? So, I just want it all. I want it all, and I want to
Yes.
make sure.
Yes.
I just want to make
That
sure.
is
I just
so
want to
good.
make sure that
Yes.
I show and display what it is who He is and what He's done. And I have no intention of being perfect. I don't know if she will ever exist. There's only Jesus, so that's not ever gonna happen. But I do know that I can now. And what's beautiful about this particular collaboration is that it was cover, y'all.
Yes.
So when I
Yes,
when I've too have been told there's books in me. I just couldn't touch nothing that wasn't to cover. I just couldn't.
Yes.
What if I did give something
Yes.
out and it's not covered?
That's good.
Coach T and Coach E.
Yes.
Oh man, there's nothing like them. Coach T has alreys said at the same time I was getting my coaching certification, and they have no idea how much of an impact they were on my life. And then 4 or 5 months, and it's because I was in constant communication with God's people who actually have a mantle, who actually
Yes.
are supposed to have the oil, who actually are covered with the oil and can cover.
Yes.
Be careful who covers you.
Yes.
That's
good
say that
stuff.
again. Say
That's
that
I
again.
was just
stuff.
saying, be careful who covers you.
That's right.
But that's all I got.
That's very powerful. That's very powerful. That's really good. It's so powerful because ever since I met you, and I can't believe maybe it's about 4 or 5 years,
Yeah, it's
and
been a while.
you were just launching your coaching business, and now you're an institute, and I'm a part of that institute. We
That's
all are a
right.
part of it.
We're all
And
yes.
there's this one quote that I'll never get out of my head, and I keep repeating it, and I repeat it to others that you tell me, and that is, unless you pursue your purpose, you will forever be discontent. And that is the truth.
Yes,
If
it
you
is.
do not move forward in your purpose, you will be discontent.
Yeah,
You will
absolutely.
forever be discontent. And the other thing that I would like to share is that this ministry, it's a ministry, we call it ministry in the workplace, in the marketplace. And it is definitely anointed.
Yes, it
It
is.
is definitely
Yes, it is.
anointed. At the time that I wrote, I didn't write that book, but I was getting ready to write the other book, and we went on a mission trip, and I was getting my coaching certification, my human behavior consultant, and then we went on a trip to Jamaica. That was over $500, almost $4,000 that had to come up with in
All
less
within like about
a short period of
6 to 8
time.
months.
6
Yeah.
to 8 months.
Yeah, he'll
I
do
was
it.
working 2 jobs, but there was no way those 2 jobs were going to provide that type of money and take care of a household. But God worked it out some way, somehow. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, it was because of the anointing and the covering.
Right.
But that's
Yes.
what he'll do. Anytime he gives a vision, he'll
Yes,
always
and
send
that's,
the
I think you
provision.
said assignment.
That's it,
Yes.
assignment. When he gives you that vision, he'll always send the provision to be
Amen.
able to accomplish that assignment.
Amen.
One thing everybody don't know is I watched her build this. I watched the turmoil and the
Yes.
prayer. She would even say, "Pray for me, because
Yeah.
you know it's getting ready to be a shift." And I remember that message too.
Yeah.
We shift
You
this
preach what you go through.
Yeah.
Y'all think this is for y'all, but this is really for me.
Yeah, you know, and that big leap that she took with John Maxwell,
Yeah.
I remember when,
Yes.
just watching Timeko, Coach T, it was Timeko at that time, but Coach T,
Amen.
how she, how can I say, how she went back and forth with it. And then she said, no, I'm gonna do what God said, you know.
Yes, no
And then
matter
all
what.
of it just came together just like that. And then she was gone. And then she said, hey, I might not be doing this contracting thing too much longer.
I remember
And
that.
boom.
I remember those things.
Yes, and you know what? And it has been a blessing for me to see you move the way you have moved
Amen.
throughout your development. Y'all don't know this, but I retired her from the Army too.
Yeah, all right now. Yeah.
You know, I have been blessed by you, everything that you have done, and I attribute my success as far as now being evangelist Carmencita D. Hughes.
Amen. Minister.
Yes,
To
I'm a
God be the
minister.
glory.
I finally accepted
Yes.
that, you know,
Amen.
and walking
Yes.
in it, and not just walking in it. Y'all, you know what? I love it.
All right.
That's
Yes.
what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Somebody to walk in it, girl.
Yes.
Yes.
And all that, you know, the Bible says, let the Redeemer
Of the Lord say so.
You have redeemed from
Yes.
the enemy.
That's it.
Come on,
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
This is good stuff. And see, this is why
Yes.
I absolutely love doing what I do.
Yes.
Glory to God.
This is why I love doing what I do,
Ooh,
because God gives me
I
the
got
opportunity
chills.
to be able to be with people. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
all this is just is because of a yes.
See, that's it. Your obedience.
But the collaboration, again, and the partnerships,
Yes.
you know what I mean? The yes, and so thank you guys so much, you ladies so much for the kind words, but I it's because of my yes. And like you said, and so many of you said, it's like when you, I wrestled with the fact of how do you even do that? What does that even look like? You know, and being in pulpit ministry and preaching and co-pastoring and you know, how do you transition, and am I supposed to transition? Is God, are you saying, you know, God, is this you or is this the enemy? Who, you know, who does that? So it was a lot of turmoil, which I know that I went through it, which helps me be able to relate and identify with other young ladies and men when they go through it, which helps me as a coach.
Yes.
Because now I can say, I understand how you feel.
Yeah.
You know, I've been there,
Right.
you know, and I know that if God brought me through it,
That's
He
it.
can.
because now there's more people who are being touched than before.
Yes.
And I think that's a word for somebody who's watching, because what one of you guys were saying was that, you know, because you stepped out, because you said yes, because you did it, there's so many other things. And then it's the whole thing of getting over the fear.
Yes.
That's
You know,
it.
once you
Yes.
get over the fear
Fear.
and you do that one thing, you are exposed to so many
That's
other
it.
wonderful
That is
things,
so
and it
true.
feels good.
Yes.
And
Yes,
here's
it
the thing,
does.
It's
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
And you shouldn't feel guilty.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. Because fear is just bondage.
It's
It's
And,
liberating.
and what does the word say? He has not given us a spirit of fear,
That's right.
but of power, love, and a sound mind.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right. And so that's
Yes.
good stuff. And so hopefully you guys are being encouraged out there to know that, listen, whatever it is that you need to do, and we're talking about a book today.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are.
But then, right, we are. We really are talking about the book, but here's the thing, we're talking about you.
That's it.
Yes.
Because we believe that if God has ordained your moment,
That's
to
right.
tune in for
Yes.
such a time as this,
Yes.
Such
then
a
he
time
is
as
really tugging on your heart.
Yes,
He is
he is.
putting a crowd of witnesses before you
Yes.
to say, wait a minute, now she is now cause she in it. You know, if
Mhm.
we can
Yes.
do it, absolutely you can do it.
Yeah.
I remember that, and many people don't even know that I participated in a collaboration.
Yes.
And it wasn't our own collaboration, but it was, for me, it was a step out. And there was an opportunity for me to participate in a collaboration with several big name people that I didn't know and had never met before. But it was like, what is my little bitty, my words gonna do, you know, in that book? But God said, go for it.
Right.
Do it.
Yes.
I've given you the opportunity. I've given you the, you know, I've opened this door for you. How dare you not?
Yeah.
How dare you
Yeah.
question? And so I was able to actually be a part of a collaboration called the Power of Mentorship. And so I want to lead that into, for those of you who want to connect with Authentic Institute, www.authenticinstitute.com. For those of you who go on and just connect and leave your email and say you want to connect, I'll send you a copy of that ebook of the Power of Mentorship, just so that you can have it. Whoops, just so you can have it. But there are all things that we've done that have been very intimidating. But because of our yes, there's so many other
That's
doors
it.
that have been opened up,
That's
and we're excited about the doors that are opening up for you. So
Absolutely.
I want to really quickly give a shout out because it took 13 women
Yes.
to make
It
this
was
complete.
13
And
of
not
us.
that we were looking for 13, because, you know, everything that we do, we really desire that it's spirit led. We pray on it,
Season.
we pray through it,
Yes.
we work through it,
Yes.
you know, we do life through it. And even in this, when people sign up for our coaching, our book collaborations, we don't know the name of the book
Right.
before they
Right.
sign up.
Right.
Right.
That's how led we are with God.
Mhm.
It's like, listen, you're gonna have to trust the God in us, and you're gonna have to trust God. But we give the information, and then we wait.
Mhm.
We wait as a visionary. We wait on God, because God don't always give you all of it.
He
That's
doesn't.
how to do it,
He
right?
doesn't.
And so, you know, we put it out there, and then we wait. And then the authors come, and then God gives the
That's
title.
Yes.
And then it's always amazing that when we have our class, our writing class together, and then, or whenever we do release the title, it's like,
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Because oftentimes,
It was
if you have
perfect,
too
too.
much, and I'm speaking to somebody, if you
Mhm.
have too much,
Yes.
then you'll conform what you are doing to fit that thing.
Yeah,
Right.
And
that's
sometimes
right.
God don't want you to take what you
That's
have
it.
and make it fit that
That's
thing.
right.
He just wants you to be authentic.
Mhm.
Yes.
And then when you're authentic, it's going to fit.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
these
Yes.
stories, when we came out and said,
Yes.
okay, guys, you know, you guys are working on it. You know, your responsibility is to just pray on the stories. Pray on what
Yes.
you're supposed to say. You know, let God lead you. And then we come with the name, and then it's
That's
just
it.
another way of
That's
God
it.
saying, I'm in this, you
Yeah.
heard me. And then that gives you that drive to say, okay,
That's right.
I'm in the right place at the right
And
time.
all of our stories intertwined
Yes.
together.
Yes.
All the stories were
Each
raw
one.
and
Yeah.
authentic. All the
Yes.
stories just they incorporate
Transparent.
into
Yeah.
into that title that was given.
Yes.
It
Yes.
just fit
Every
because
last
it was
one.
God's title.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's nerving for me because I don't want to see like I don't know what I'm doing. Even though there have been times where I didn't know what I was doing. And that's a word for you today. Sometimes
We
God's
didn't
gonna
never
say,
know
do
that.
something,
That's right.
and you may not know all the way
That's
how to
it.
do it.
He knows.
But every
He
step you
knows.
take, He'll
Yes.
give you another way,
That's
another
it.
Yes.
direction, another sense of instruction. He'll give you another tactic, another tool, another
That's right.
avenue.
That's
right.
So I'm
Yes.
telling you, somebody who's watching, don't wait till you figure it all out.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't wait until you have all the money. All I want you to do is begin to take step by step. And as you take step by step, God is opening up doors and He's making a way
Right.
for
Yeah.
everything to happen.
Yeah.
But so
Part of
sometimes, you know,
Yes.
with that thing, it was like, man, I don't know the name of the of the book yet. But trust me, right?
Right.
That's hard to
Yeah.
say.
Right.
But they did. You all did. And it all
Yeah.
came together. And this is well, actually, we're
That
working
was
on our
Sephora.
5th collaboration right now.
Mhm.
Actually, we have 2 collaborations going on right now. And some of our authors are watching. I see you, Christy. I see Latasha. You know, I see several of the ones who are out there who are watching right now. Thank you again for sharing your contribution. It's going to be dynamic.
Yes.
And so we have authors right now, ladies, who are right now, they just turned their chapters in the 1st of July.
Awesome.
So you know what that feels like.
Congratulations.
Yeah. now they're, we're in the editing
did
process,
it.
and now they're able
Yeah.
to breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, now the fun starts.
Yes.
You've done all the hard work.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like you guys are birthing your chapters. We're laying back and we're being the midwives and we're praying for you all and all that, encouraging you, you know. And that was kind of easy, you know.
Right.
So now that you birthed it, now we have to do all the hard work. So now you lay back and let us make it happen for you. So we're excited about that. But I want to make sure that before we get off air, that I identify and recognize the other amazing authors who were not able to be here today.
Absolutely.
So we
Yes,
have
yes.
Tanya Kinchlow, we
Yeah.
have Carmen Randolph, we
Yeah.
have Leslie Wesley all the way from South Bend. This thing is, because I'm used to using my hands, right? We have Deidre Cook, we have Kanisha Cunningham from Ohio, we have LaTanya Price, we have LeAngela Hardiman, Yolanda Brown, and Janice Batty Prince, who's
Yes.
also one of our authors, and that's just this book. And
We
so
love you, ladies.
Yes, we
we love
do.
you, ladies. We love you, ladies. Thank you so much, and we hate that you guys are not able to be here with us today.
Absolutely.
So, and we have other books that we have. This is another one that we did. It's called A Piece of Me, My Journey of Authenticity. We have 12 amazing authors in that. And then our most recent one, which we're going to talk about next week. So you want to make sure you come back next week because we're going
Yes,
to have
you
more
do.
authors in studio with us next week, which is A Glimpse of Glory.
Yes.
Y'all, this is good stuff. And so the one that we're working on right now is called Position to Prosper.
Oh, wow.
I know, I was like, okay.
Wow.
And then we're also doing collaborations that are outside of Indianapolis. And we are really partnering now with people. And so hopefully you're listening. If you know that you have a sphere of influence, you have a group or you have people and you want to be a part of a collaboration, but you want to have your own group, we'll do that. So right now we have people who are watching from Kokomo. We have a dynamic group in Kokomo, and their book is called Meet Me at the Well.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
Meet Me at the
Look like
Well.
we gonna have a lot. Look like we gonna have a lot of
Kokomo
reading
is
too.
doing a lot of reading. You hear me?
Oh,
So the
man.
Kokomo authors, their chapters are being turned in the 1st of August. So they are in that birthing right now. They're experiencing some real pains right
Yeah.
now, right? We
You
love
know,
you guys, and you can do it. Here's the proof,
Yes,
right?
you
You
can
can
do it. Keep going. Don't give
We're
up.
cheering you
Trust
on.
Yes, and so we're gonna go and launch those Kokomo authors, and it doesn't matter where you are. You can be in Germany, you can be in Texas, it doesn't matter. If you want someone to help you launch a collaboration, we will coach you, train you, and see you through the collaboration. You don't have to know how to do it. We'll do all the heavy lifting. All you have to do is identify several people that you want to partner with you. That can be a fraternity or a sorority collaboration. It could be a ministry, a church collaboration. It's a fundraiser. It can be a family collaboration. Listen, we take the limits off of God.
Yes.
We know that
Yeah.
there's something that has to be said, something that you should share. And so whatever you want to do, if AIC can help you, we want to help you. Not only that, but we also help in coaching certifications. If you want to be a certified coach, we will come to you and certify you and your group as to how to be a coach, how to take someone from where they are to where they desire to be. Listen, we are a worldwide ministry.
Yes.
We're a worldwide marketplace ministry.
Yes.
And we do this because we know that not everybody is coming to our churches.
That's right.
And so we're gonna come to you.
Yes.
And we're gonna come to you, and then you're gonna go to work.
Yes.
And you're gonna go to school.
Yes.
And you're gonna go to your family. And you're gonna go outside of these walls. You're gonna go in the walls, but you're also gonna go outside of these walls. And you're gonna touch those who won't step foot in our church. Because you're a
Yes.
carrier. You carry the glory, you
Come
carry
on
the
now.
anointing, you
Right.
carry
Yes.
a testimony,
Yes.
and God
Yes.
has brought you out for a reason. But God is not done with you.
That's
You
right.
think you're okay, you think you're cool, it's all good. No, there's so much
So
more
much
that
more.
God wants to do.
Yes.
And he have people who are called destiny helpers
That's
to
right.
connect
Yes.
with you, to
Come on
push
now.
you, to coach you, to
Yes.
train you, and to
Yes.
free you to move forward to do all that God has called you to do. So AuthenticInstitute.com, AuthenticInstitute.com. Please connect with me. And if it's not me, listen, there's somebody out there who God has called to help you. It doesn't have to be
That's
Coach
right.
T or Coach E. It could be Coach Tedria. It could be Coach Troyce. It can be Minister Psalmist
Yes.
Nicole. It
Yes.
could be Minister Carmencita. Listen, it could be anyone out there. All I say is that you cannot get through this by yourself.
That's so
That's
true.
true.
That's right.
You have to
So
partner with
Yes.
someone who is authentic,
Yes.
who loves the
Yes.
Lord,
Yes.
who is an intercessor,
Yes.
and who can see you
That's
in
it.
your future. So
Absolutely.
I'm super excited about what God is doing. This is why I love what I do, because I wake up every day and I'm surrounded with people like you all.
Praise God.
You know, and I'm able to just partner with you guys on purpose, and it's really, really good. So, we only have a couple minutes left. Was 30 seconds. Encourage the people. 30 seconds.
Let the Redeemer of the Lord say so, whom he has redeemed from the hand of the enemy. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Woo!
Where to start? Start with a journal. Write it down. Trust God. Pray to Him. Ask Him what to do next, and He'll show you the way.
Amen.
I want to say that dreams do come true. So from this moment on, choose to work that dream in you.
Amen.
I'd say keep your head up, especially the Kokomo group.
Yeah.
And however God communicates with you is how He'll always bring your purpose to fruition. So identify that through prayer and fasting, and you'll learn a lot about God and yourself.
Amen.
Amen.
Well, I'm so excited. Again, I mean, it's a blessing. This is good for me. I'm telling you, we were doing it for the people. But this is really good for me, for us to be together again.
For
Thank
us.
you guys
It's a
so
blessing.
much. Yes.
Thanks
Yes,
for
yes.
having us. Yes, thank you
So
much.
I do have another quick question for you guys, and either one of you can kind of chime in on here. What do you say to the person who's saying, I hear you, that's all good, but I feel stuck?
Feel stuck.
I'll say pray and just trust God and say hallelujah anyhow and get more word in you to overcome it.
Put the word on it.
Put the
That's
word
it.
on
Put
it.
the word on it.
Because you have to press your way through.
Right.
Yeah.
Even when you don't feel
That's what I
like
was
it,
gonna
you
say.
still
Press,
have to press
Yes,
your
yes,
way
yes,
through.
yes.
You keep pressing, and before you know it, you'll be on the other side.
And that's
Right.
why you need accountability.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Because if God has told you something, you have to, you need to do it. You don't want to
You
die like
don't-
that.
right.
Yeah.
You know, you need to do
You
it.
have
But
to
you
be
have to have,
obedient
you got to be
and
able to wake up and say, okay, I'm supposed to do this, but I didn't do it. But now I have accountability, so I must do it, right?
Yes.
You want to say
I
something?
agree with everything that Lisa said. So along with that, go down memory lane, go to the places you don't want to visit, and just start writing about them. You don't need a title.
That's
Just
it.
start
Don't.
writing memory
Just
lane,
start
good,
writing.
bad, right, wrong, ugly. And I promise to you again, however He communicates
That's
with you,
good.
He'll start giving you that path.
That's it.
Yes.
That's good. And I want to say this, go back and do it, because I've recently had to do this myself. I've had to go back and look and chart all the great things that God has done in my life.
Yes.
And then just gleam on those and say,
Yeah.
you know what, He's
He
done
did
that,
this,
He's done
he
that,
did
and
this.
He's not done.
Yeah.
And I want to say to you that He's not done. Thank you so much for tuning in to Authentic Living with Coach T. We love you, and we hope to
Yes,
see
yes,
you again
yes.
next Tuesday at 5:35 p.m. Take
Amen.
care and have a blessed day.
Amen.
Thank you, Facebook fam. Thank you so much for being with us.
That was great.
That was
That was
absolutely great.
awesome.
Oh my
man.
goodness. See what God doing? You never even
great.
know what's
I
gonna come
know.
out.
God
No,
does
no,
it.
right?
God does it.
Yeah. that
He
was
always
like-
does.
It's amazing.
So we've got to do this barbecue or something.
Yeah.
We are.
Church
That's a good idea, very good idea.
She just